Hey guys, so I know, I have been not consistent with uploading to my channel, and do I have an excuse for it? Sure, life has gotten in my way, again. Whew. So, what has really been going on this past week? You know, it's like when I think about it in like a nutshell, nothing, but that's not really true. So, sorry, I'm like, got a notification that just popped up on my phone and distracted me there. So, I started this program called VIP Kid back in June. And my friend who does what I do in like the promotional industry, like we do promos and whatever, I had worked with her back, I don't know, like, anyway, well, let me just start over. So, my friend was telling me that like we were both equally complaining about how we don't like the typical like 9-to-5 corporate slave kind of job, and why we like promotional work, and why we just like this industry. And she said, you know what I do as like part of like her side hustle, like that's what we call these jobs, you know? And I was like, no, what do you do? She's like, I teach English to Chinese kids. I was like, you know what, I've heard of that, because I studied Chinese in undergrad, and I minored in Chinese, and that was something that I was very interested in, but I just didn't even know like where to go for, like where to even begin looking into doing something like that, like teaching English to Chinese kids. And I had saw it like where you could go to China and do it, but then what happened, because I wanted to do that. I wanted to go to China and teach English to Chinese students, obviously in China. But what happened with me is I was 21 years old, was in my last year of undergrad, and I fell in love with this boy who I ended up marrying, you know, like 5 years later. Like we've been together since my 21st birthday. I have to do a story time about how I met my husband, and because it's actually a really funny story, and it's really cute, and I think it would be a great story time. But, you know, that's what happened. And he was in law school, and he had like 2 more years of law school, because when I met him, he was in his, he was just starting year 1 of law school, but then he had another 2 years, and basically life happened, and moving to China was just not realistic for me. But I had heard about these other programs out there where it's kind of like Skyping, and you teach English to these Chinese students, and they're like, you know, they're young, like they're anywhere from like 5 to like 14 years old, I guess. Like they're pretty young kids, and you know, whatever. Okay, come on, dude. Oh, I hate honking at like little old ladies, but it's like sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, why are you driving? It's like a green light and they're not even going. It's like, oh, let me just pass her real quick. Ooh, pass him. So anyway, she's like, I teach English. My friend was like, I teach English to Chinese students. And I'm like, that is like really cool. I've always wanted to do that. But when I was looking into it, I didn't know what was like a scam, what wasn't. Like, I didn't know how it really worked. And I'm like, you know, it's something that I've always like have been interested in. And she's like, you know what? If that's something that you're seriously interested in, I'll help you get into the program to teach. And it's called VIP Kid. And what's cool is that with her referral, like she gave me like she gave me a referral code. And with her referral code, then like she gets a kickback after like I get hired with the company and teach a first class, then like that next month or whatever, she gets like a kickback bonus as well as I do. And it's because I guess like China, they really need more people to, because this has become a very popular way to teach their Chinese kids English, and it's very effective. So they want really good and talented people to be able to teach English to, you know, these students. And you have to have like a bachelor's degree, and you have to do like a mock class, and it's kind of rigorous. And as soon as you apply, like the next week you're going to get an interview, provided that you have like all your documentation, like your bachelor's degree, and you pass like their background check. Then you'll end up getting an interview, and only 10% of people will actually like pass it. So basically what happened in June, I started this process. I used her referral code. I went and I had to buy all these, like, I bought all these like props, and I had an office made up in my house, and I had to buy like a headset, and basically like put a lot of energy into this like VIP kid thing. And I ended up passing the interview. I ended up passing like their fake interview, like not interview, their fake classroom. So you like will teach like certain levels, like a level like 2 class and like a level 3 class, and depending on how you do, that's like how much they're gonna start you at like for pay. So I mean, I went on YouTube and I researched the crap out of this program. I figured out like how to pass like the trial class and all that good stuff. And this is all like in June. So July 4th, around there, is when I got into like the program, and I was ready to teach, and I got approved and signed my contract and all this stuff. And how it works too is like you get bookings. So like parents and stuff, like on Sunday nights, they go onto their app and they book you for all sorts of like classes and stuff. Well, what I didn't realize, I thought I was going to start teaching like right away, and it literally took me like 55 days in order to get my first booking. And that just happened last week. So I started teaching English to Chinese students last week, and that was like really, really rewarding, super cool. Something that I'm not used to, because I'm not used to waking up really early to teach. My classes last week, my earliest class was at 6:30 in the morning. And I mean, China is like 12 or 13 hours like ahead of like where I live, like in the Chicagoland area. So that was like really cool. A really fun experience, like super rewarding, and I really loved it. It was everything that I thought it was gonna be. But I didn't get to I didn't go to my grandma's all last week, and I do feel guilty, even though guilt is kind of like a wasted emotion for a lot of reasons. But I felt really guilty. And here's the other part, like, so my grandma is like terminally ill, and you know, I was going over there in the morning and taking care of her, and I still want to do that, but I also like finally got booked for this like VIP kid thing. And personally, like, my jobs like for promos are like really slowing down. I don't know if the industry is like dying, or the industry is like changing again. Like sometimes that happens where like it changes and then you slow down, and everyone's noticed at some level like the amount of work is just like going down. And one of my accounts that I was like getting booked for a lot with, and like my big moneymaker account, lost one of their huge clients. And this client went to another company, and I've been working for that company too since 2013, but there's a lot of loyal girls who are also a part of that company who are getting booked for these shifts and stuff. And not that I'm entitled to, you know, anything, but basically, like, this couldn't have come at a better time, this VIP kid thing, because I'm losing money with my promotional gig, and I needed to figure out a way to subsidize that income. So this is really great. the only other thing too that happened last week is I got a Dear John phone call. I was so like, one, I was relieved, but two, I was like also pretty like, it's hard to take like a job that like rejected you, like not personally. At least for me it is. It's something I gotta work on. But I interviewed for this position where it was like within the realm of the promotional industry. I would have been like setting up promotions with accounts and setting up like certain engravings for bottles, and I would have had a branded vehicle in my driveway, and I was really ready to just kind of like move up in this industry a little bit. Like I have moved up before and then I've stepped down because booking promotions and like being the liaison between a booking agent like and the client and just like all these like other like factors, it's just very annoying. And booking girls and booking people, it can be very disappointing. Like you'll book somebody to work a promotion and they don't show up, or they fake that they were there. There's just a lot of like, why, you know, there's a lot of reasons why I didn't like booking promotions. So I have stepped up in the promotional world, but I've also, like I said, went back doing just like the ground, like the field work. And honestly, I felt like I made more money being in the field than I did at the office. So anyway, but this wouldn't have, this job I went for, it didn't require me to book other people for these like jobs. It would have just been like me booking these special events with clients and whatever. And you know, I made it through the 4 fucking interviews just to get the phone call saying that they went with someone they thought was like better qualified. And I was like kind of bummed because, one, this job, not to like make myself like feel better or I don't know, not like to suck my own dick or anything, but like I was already overqualified for this position. Like, you know, didn't need a bachelor's degree. I have one. I have tons of knowledge about this industry. Like I am Rain Man when it comes to knowing who suppliers are, knowing people who are in the same distributor. I know this portfolio like the back of my hand. And maybe like I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but like everyone I even told who I was going for this position, they're like, oh yeah, you are definitely like overqualified for it. But it was something that I thought I would be good at, and I thought, hey, you know what, it's a work from home position, like this would be great, da 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 da. And you know, I didn't get it. And you know, there's a lot of other factors, like maybe the other person who got the position knew somebody, maybe they were more qualified, maybe they had a better impression on the final interview. Who the hell knows? But you know, just it's kind of like I don't know, it doesn't like hurt, but it just kind of like, it feels like prom all over again, you know, being stood up. Just kidding. But you know, no one likes to be told that, you know, they found somebody who was like more qualified. That just like, I don't know, it just kind of hurts the ego a bit. But at the same time, I need to take a sip of my drink. But at the same time, like I know this company and they seem a little unorganized, and I kind of felt relief too. Like, okay, I don't have this job. At least now, like, I can go on vacation still, and I can have my surgery with my thyroid being removed, and I can take all the necessary time that I need in order to like recover properly, where I know if I had started a new job or like a new career, so to speak, I know I would have like just wanted to, you know, quickly hurry up and ignore like myself and not take, you know, adequate amount of time off. also, like, my grandma is sick, so, you know, I want to be able to help her out when she needs help, and I don't want to have to worry about working full-time on someone else's schedule when I have so much going on in my life. But, you know, that's something that I do personally, like, when stuff starts getting rough or there's, like, a lot going on, I have a tendency just to, like, submerge myself into other projects, into other things, and I use that as, like, distraction and filler. And that's something that I really have to just, like, learn that I'm gonna mellow out, and I'm not gonna, like, kill myself, and just, you know, I'm gonna actually take one moment at a time, as opposed to, like, taking on way too much. That's something that I like. Jenna Marbles, in, like, one of her old school videos, she would say, like, I have the too much gene, and that is 100% me. I'm also a Virgo, too. So I think I also have, like, the too much gene. Like, I just take on too much. I just need more, and nothing is ever enough. You know, I'm not gonna cry or take anything, like, way too personally. Like, there's just no point to that. You know, I'm not extremely, like, sensitive about stuff like that. It just sucks, if that makes sense. Like, and that's the thing, it wasn't like these interviews were all within, like, a week. I mean, they've been stringing me along for, like, a month and a half, 2 months. Like, oh yeah, you know. It just, that's what irritates me. It's like that, like, time waster. And then, like, I had my, like, this, like, interview. I had this in-person interview, and it took them over a week just to get back to me, to let me know whether or not they were going to hire me. And that's the thing, like, I would say most jobs that I've ever interviewed for, I've gotten the position. And I feel like most of the times, you know if you're gonna hire somebody or not. Like, you know. You just need to interview them, and you fucking know if you're gonna take them or not. So, like, why did you waste my time? Were you, like, trying to see if this other candidate was gonna, like, flake out, and then you were gonna secondhand lions me? Like, no. Not to sound like, I'm entitled or too good, but, like, you know, if I'm not gonna be your first choice, then just let me go. Like, you don't have to string me along. You know, it's just bullshit. So, anyway, I'll talk for, like, a few more minutes, I guess. What else? I'm going on a cruise in 22 days. I'm not counting. I'm really not. I think it's either 21 or 22. I got an email from Carnival saying, hey, your cruise is in 22 days. Are you sure you don't want to buy the alcohol package? Here's my thing with, like, I love cruises. I feel like you can go on a cruise for relatively, like, a good price, you know? And, like, I would say, you know, anywhere from, like, $1,500 to, like, $1,700 you can go on a cruise with, like, and that would count for 2 people. And you get to see, like, all your food's included, all your meals, water, iced tea, and lemonade's included. Juices are included at breakfast time. The food is like a buffet kind of style, but like nighttime food, and that's my favorite. The formal dinner, you get to dress up, which is always fun, and they make like really good meals. Like, it's like a 3-course meal, and like, I'm a vegetarian, like, and I'm a picky vegetarian, and they always have something for me to eat. And there's always like an appetizer, and the service is just unbelievably awesome. Like, these people who work on the ship, they're so nice, they're so attentive, and they do not get paid nearly like what they deserve. They just go above and beyond service. I love going on cruise ships, and it's just like, for the money that you spend on a cruise, and I'm not talking, like, I always end up tipping more, like, for my service, you know, like, people that make my bed, I give them money all week long. You know, I always give them, like, more for, like, the dining, it's just stuff like that, but like not including that, but like just like the first like initial price, like for a ticket on the ship that includes all your food, all your entertainment. They have like live shows, just all sorts of stuff. Comedy. I love I love comedy, you guys. I love stand-up. I love it all. They have that. They have like a karaoke thing always on the ship. There's always something to do, and they give you like an itinerary every single day, like in your little mailbox outside your room, of like all the new activities that are going on for that night. And there's always like shopping on the ship. There's always something going on, let alone like they drop you off at an island, and there's like a pretty nice amount of time, usually like 6 hours or whatever, for you to like walk around, book your excursions, and do what you want to do. And what I like too is like there's certain places that like I've went to on like certain islands I've went to that I was like, you know, I don't know if I would necessarily like book a week vacation here, but I'm really glad I stopped for the day. And then there's other like islands that I've been on, like Aruba, that I really liked, and I wouldn't mind maybe going back there and spending a little bit longer time. But you know, it's relatively like cheap to travel like through a cruise. The food is good. You have a nice, you know, like at least for Carnival, I like the rooms. They're plenty big for me and my husband, and it's just a really good time. So I love going on cruises, and we're going on this one, and I love Carnival. Like I go on Carnival. Maybe, you know, you don't like Carnival Cruise, but I love Carnival Cruise, and I can get into more why I like Carnival versus like other ships, and I'll probably make that in another video at some point. But it's a lot of fun. But I never buy like an alcohol or like liquor packages on a cruise ship, because I'm not a drinker like in like real life. Like, and I mean, I'm not saying I never drink, but I'm just like not a seasoned drinker. Like I can't, like I don't think I'd hold my liquor very well anymore. Like if I had like 3 drinks, I'd be like fucked up. Like lights out, night night, you're fucked up. Where like, and so like with a cruise ship, it's almost like, I want to say it's like $100 a day, like for your room. So then it's like a price of almost like a whole nother, like another person could have like enjoyed the whole like cruise experience, like for the price of like the liquor package. And it's not like you can just like buy one person in your cabin or whatever can buy the liquor package and then, you know, maybe you don't. No, like if you buy a liquor package in your cabin, the other, like they're gonna charge you for 2. Hope I explained that right. So me and my husband, we just, I would want to get my whole money, like my money's worth from it, and I would be wasted, and I would not enjoy my cruise. Like I could not drink, and hey, if you can't, good for you, but for me, I can't personally drink for 7 days and be functional and enjoy my cruise. I would be sick, and I just wouldn't have fun. So what me and my husband will do is we'll bring a box of sangria, Beso del Sol, shout out, not sponsored obviously because I'm not big enough, but like we'll bring like a box of Beso del Sol, and we'll put it in our suitcase, and then we'll put like little mini bottles of like some other harder stuff in our suitcase too. And I have never gotten my my box of wine like confiscated, and I think it's because, you know, it's a box. They don't really know what's in the box, and you know, it's not in the shape of like a bottle or something. So we've never had it taken away. So that's what we normally do. And then everybody just shares our box of wine, and it's, you know, it's good. It's a good time, and because I'm cheap. But I would rather have like 2 glasses of sangria than having to drink 15 drinks in order to make my money back, you know? And then like maybe like we'll buy like a drink here, or yeah, we've like usually just like bought like 1 drink on the cruise, because like they're like $10 to like $16, like a pop, like for like I shouldn't say a pop, that might confuse people. They're like 10 to like 16 bucks for like a drink, like an alcoholic drink. And to me, that's just not worth it. I'd rather have like a shirt that says Aruba on it for like 10 bucks. Just saying. That's just me. That's how I prioritize things in my head. I'd rather sneak on my boxed wine than, like, you know, buy a wine package at dinner. And that's the other thing. Being in the liquor industry, your wine, like, literally, you spend like $125 on a wine package, and seriously, those bottles are like $4. Like, I'm not going to spend $125 on wine that was like a $4 bottle of shit wine. Like, forget that. And I don't even like wine. Like, most wine isn't like vegetarian anyway, so now I'm just ranting. Oh, police officer. Police always like freak me the fuck out. I don't know why. I also tried messing with my new video editing software, and I am so stupid. I can't figure it out. I can't figure out how to do that, or like I just don't understand it. So I gotta like watch a YouTube tutorial, and I know I'm gonna make a stick shift tutorial soon. It's just I want to make it good, and I kind of want to use like my video editing software for it because I want it to make sense. I don't want to like, shit, I missed my turn. Oh, maybe I can sneak over. Ooh, there we go. That's how you skip 4 lanes of traffic. Don't do what I do, you guys. But I want to like be able to use like my video editing software and make a somewhat a decent tutorial on how to drive a stick shift, because I think that'd be really cool. But I gotta learn how to do the video editing software before I make the tutorial. But now I'm just going on and I'm talking way too much. I'm still not even close to my account. Alright, you guys, thanks for listening, and if you made it through this entire video, like, I don't know, can you put like a smiley face emoji in like the comment section so I know if people actually even watch this or not? And, you know, give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, don't subscribe, you do what you want to do, just don't be an asshole in the comment section, because everyone will just think you're an asshole, you know? But, you know, let's talk. Tell me what you want to see. I know everyone wants to see how to drive a stick shift. I'm gonna do it. But what else? Do you guys want to do like, you know, a Q&A video? What do you want to see? I know one time, a very long time ago, someone said a challenge video. I'm still thinking about that, like what I can do. But give me some ideas. Let me know what you want to see, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.